Well, tells me I'm live. We shall see. You guys know how the YouTube is with me. Good morning. Well, good afternoon. 12:30. Sorry for the late start. I got some irons in the fires, guys, and fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I'm going to be working again real soon here. So super excited to be back in the grind of things. You know, I decided yesterday to take my destiny into my own hands and not work for somebody else and just do my own thing and press forward, right? Dan H., thank you so much for the 5x5. Southern Tier Prepper, good to see you. Scott Hummer in the house. JTEMT, hello in New Jersey. Hope all is well with you out there. Grit and Grace, the Farming Florist, good to see you, sister. KP Heathen in the house. What up, brother? Hope all is well in your neck of the woods. Goodness gracious, there is some tomfoolery in the news. Oops. Glad to hear you're working on it, my friend. Let me get my drink cracked open here. Moon Sprouts told me yesterday green tea is the way. And thanks, Moon Sprouts. We're going to try it out. Bad Blobber, good to see you. Thank you for stopping in this morning. Really appreciate it. Oh, what's going on here? All right. So the Prepared Irishman, I actually just got a message from my friend, and we were conversing about the Marie Le Pen situation, right? Where we talked about this yesterday in the newscast, maybe the day before, but she's been charged with crimes, and it's not good. She's out of politics for like the next 5 years, which is going to push her even being able to run for office past the next election cycle. So essentially she's out. They have removed the opposition party, you know, the one who was probably going to win against other folks. Winning streak. I'm glad to hear that's April Fool's joke, sister. Bad Blobber, good to see you. Hope all is well, guys. But yeah, the Marie Le Pen situation, not good, right? And we saw something similar here, 8 years ago with Mr. Trump. Did we not? I mean, the Dems tried awful hard to get him impeached more than once, and everything in their power to stop the man from doing anything, right? So it seems that political opposition, they're often looking to lock them up and throw away the key, make sure that they cannot be involved in politics again. So the Irishman was talking to me this morning. There is a rumor going around that Mr. Conor McGregor may be looking at being brought up on charges because of some of the comments that he has made. Let's see, I am going to copy and paste this article right into the chat for y'all to check it out for yourself. Steel and Treat, good to see you. Good morning. Hope all is well. Rum Runner, what's happening, brother? So the summary of this is Conor McGregor is under investigation for his tweets about the 2023 Dublin riots, which some believe incited violence and hate against immigrants. If found guilty, McGregor could face up to 7 years in prison under the Criminal Justice Hate Offenses Act of 2024. Controversy comes as McGregor announced his bid to run for president of Ireland, sparking backlash from critics who question his suitability for the role. Miss J, good to see you. Thank you so much for stopping in. The article goes on to state Conor McGregor has turned out to be one of the most controversial figures in recent years despite his career at the UFC. The UFC champion seems to be becoming more famous because of his controversials and scandals than he is for his career as a professional MMA artist. Over the years, McGregor has been accused and even found guilty of charges like driving offenses, sexual assault, robbery, causing violence, disrupting MMA events. Recently, he was found guilty of rape and visited the White House and announced his plan to run for president of Ireland. Well, another controversy has erupted following his old tweets related to the 2023 Dublin riots. Very interesting. So it looks like The left is going to use everything in their power against the right. It doesn't matter where you are on this big blue marble, right? They're going to use everything in their power against them to keep them out of politics. That's the way all of this looks on the surface. Winning streak, correct. McGregor might have avoided jail time when he was found guilty of raping a woman in November 2024. But he might not be so lucky given the recent investigations lost against him back in 2023, when it was revealed that non-nationals can vote in local elections in Ireland. McGregor tweeted, "Ireland, we are at war." So apparently that tweet right there incited hate and violence, according to the Irish government. Very interesting. So again, I'll drop that article right here in the comment section. Once again for you guys, sorry, I got to look around the camera here. It's right here, so when I'm reading the chat, I'm staring right at you guys. Let's see. Yeah, this is not very good. Teresa Buchanan, good to see you. Paprika Pauline, good to see you. Little lone prepper in the house. Rob B, what's happening, brother? Very interesting. Southern Tier Prepper, I agree wholeheartedly, and it's got to be done the right way. This is not a hands and feet kind of fight. This is a political battle that has to be won at the ballot box. It has to be won on the moral high ground, and it has to be won the right way to bring everybody to the center, right? I think we all need to leave the extremes aside and come to the center and figure all this out. Healthier living, good morning in Arizona. Hope all is well with you. If we all come together, man, we can eliminate a lot of problems. I gotta be honest. So, in other news, this is a little more New York related here. This is from Fox News. The second COVID nursing home death case against Andrew Cuomo has been tossed out of court. And of course, I will. Come on. There we go. Got to hit one button, then the other button. Copy and paste to everybody in the chat. There we go. Bam, Fox News. Cuomo was accused of being responsible for the deaths of seniors at nursing homes following a controversial directive. A federal judge has dismissed a class action lawsuit accusing former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo and his administration of being responsible for the deaths of their loved ones in nursing homes during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. JTEMT, yeah, I'll get into that here in just a minute. The U.S. District Court Judge Catherine Polk wrote on Monday that although what happened was heartbreaking, the family's legal arguments didn't meet the standards for suing in federal court. Cuomo, who was governor at the time, issued a March 2020 directive that initially barred nursing homes from refusing to accept patients who had tested positive for COVID-19. The directive was aimed at freeing up beds in overwhelmed hospitals. So the directive made sure that if you were elderly and in a nursing home and you went to the hospital and you tested positive for COVID-19, you had to go back to the nursing home, right? That was the directive issued by the state. And the article goes on to state more than 9,000 recovering coronavirus patients were released from hospitals into nursing homes under the directive, which was later rescinded amid speculation that it had accelerated the outbreaks. 8 plaintiffs in the case argued their loved ones contracted COVID-19 in nursing homes and died as a result of the directive. They accused Cuomo and his administration of being civilly liable for their deaths, as well as being liable for failing to accurately report the number of nursing home deaths in New York State that resulted from the virus. An Obama appointee said the government was not directly responsible for their deaths, even if its policies had tragic consequences. Eric N1RV, good to see you, brother. Hope all is well with you and the family. The court's sympathy for the plaintiffs and their loved ones simply cannot supply governing law, she wrote. She wrote that the plaintiffs' arguments did not meet the high bar of shocking the public concise, which is needed for this type of lawsuit, and that officials acted during a fast-moving crisis. The family members accused the defendants of violating due process clause of the 14th Amendment. They also brought state law claims, including wrongful death and gross negligence under New York law. Fanilla dismissed most of the claims on jurisdictional grounds without prejudice. The court does not question the sincerity or depth of the plaintiff's loss, she wrote, but the laws as currently stands does not permit recovery against the defendants for harms alleged. She also emphasized that the case was dismissed based on legal standards, not a denial that harm occurred. Cuomo spokesperson Richard Azzopardi welcomed the ruling and noted it was the second such case to be tossed on similar grounds. Anytime this issue gets taken out of the press or political arena and into the courts, the truth wins, he said. He said the case follows 3 separate probes by the Justice Department as well as the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. Once again, justice has prevailed, he said, end quote. Cuomo, who is currently running for New York City mayor, has previously said that the directive was based on CDC and CMS guidance at the time. A report released in March 2022 by the New York State Comptroller found Cuomo's health department was not transparent in its reporting of COVID-19 deaths in nursing homes. It understated the number of deaths at nursing homes by as much as 50% during some points of the pandemic. The former governor was grilled by Republican lawmakers last year about the following, which the White House Republicans subsequently recommended, and the Justice Department pursued criminal charges against him. Very interesting. Winning streak. Thank you so much, sister. Oops, you like that? That's my little poofy chest hair. It's on the microphone, so I don't scratch it against everything. And you know how YouTube likes to mess with my microphones, so I got a real good one, real good camera. If something's messed up, they definitely messing with it. Yeah, man, this is, listen, I was here. I'm here, Hudson Valley, in the heart of New York, right in the breadbasket. What they did was, in my opinion, highly immoral and wrong, legality aside. Right? Legality aside, what they did during the pandemic to the elderly was wrong, hands down. And even the judge said they don't deny that these things happen. They say that they don't have grounds for legal repercussions. Southern Tier Prepper, I agree with you. It was geriatric genocide. And ultimately, there's one person responsible, the man who ran this state during that, who made these decisions. Now, Cuomo, I don't know if you guys paid attention during the pandemic. He was in the spotlight a lot, right? A lot. Because New York, man, this is where it kind of broke out first. And he would issue a directive, right? Something wild, like shut down New York State, and then delegate everything to everybody else. He would just say stupid shit, and it really wasn't his job to implement this stuff. It fell on local governments to implement these measures, local law enforcement to enforce these measures. And during the pandemic here, man, I was one of the only people on the roads. I would drive down the empty Taconic State Parkway and see the same 2 Dutchess County sheriffs hanging out at the pull-off and wave to them every morning as I drove by. We give each other a little toot and a nod, There was nobody on the roads. Patty S. says, I'm not a fan of Cuomo, but with the hospitals filling up, what was he supposed to do with so many people testing positive for COVID? Patty S., I agree with you, but I don't think sending COVID-positive patients into the most vulnerable populations in nursing homes was a wise decision. He forced them to take them back. There was no other way about it. I mean, we had ships in New York Harbor, right? The U.S. Mercy sat there and was ready to receive COVID patients. Yet, Andrew Cuomo's pride told him, shove those old folks, COVID positive, right back in the nursing homes. Old folks are expensive to take care of. Nursing homes are quite the racket. And I agree with Southern Tier Prepper. This was geriatric genocide. Patty S., there was the Javits Center. There was multiple places set up as triage areas and makeshift hospitals for COVID-19 patients in New York State during that time. We had inflatable hospitals in the parking lots of hospitals here in New York State. I watched the U.S. military set them up myself. It was a stressful time, and some wildly horrible decisions were made with finances, with people, with everything. And it led to the deaths of a lot of people. I personally believe ultimately they are responsible because they're the ones who said, this is what you have to do it. So personally, Andrew can go someplace else other than New York City. You have to remember, this man has been brought up on multiple sexual misconduct claims. Just because his family was decent in New York back in the day, his father, right, he was all right. His brother got tossed out of CNN because, well, a little bit of roid rage there. And it's not good, man. It's not good. P.S. It's always the fucking Tappan Zee Bridge. Always. Always. So one last time, I will drop this in the comment section for everybody. Yeah, dismissed again. Terrible. There's lots of videos and photos to go along with these articles, so I like to put these in there. Patty S. says, I was one of the volunteers making phone calls to the unemployed. It was such a disaster, I ended up stopping my volunteer efforts. I'm so sorry, Patty S. Red Cardinal, they had something similar here in New York, and if you went outside without a mask on, you were accosted by people. I was thrown out of businesses. Some businesses I still haven't been back to. Vote with your dollars, folks. Oh, this is another one that I want to share with you guys here. This is easy peasy. This is the NASA Space Weather Prediction Center. I told you guys yesterday, keep an eye on Mr. Sunshine. R2, space weather conditions. S2, moderate. The latest observed, they're down, but solar flaring is happening. We are at the precipice of solar maximum, so it's only going to get worse, folks. It's only going to get worse. But there is a whole lot of awesome stuff over here. Samurai Viking Lumberjack, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Whole Foods, he says. Whole Foods, got to go there. All right, what else do we have on tap here today? Let's get into the Cory Booker thing, shall we? Because as far as I know, he still has not shut up. Still has not shut up. He took the podium at 7 p.m. last night, vowing to speak for as long as I am physically able. He was still standing with glasses on and papers in hand as of 11 a.m. Tuesday. This article has not been updated yet. By mid-morning, some more than 40,000 people were watching his live stream on YouTube. And yeah, it looks like he's still going. This is all anti-President Trump. All Cory Booker, apparently forever. He's never going to stop. He's just going to keep running his mouth until, you know, the earth crumbles into the sea. This is an NPR article. I don't know if you want to click on that because it might put some NPR spam in your inbox. JT, EMT, it's not your fault, man. It's not your fault. Livingston, man, you know what? I think you're right. I think a lot of folks are, like you said, kissing the ring of President Trump to do his bidding. some of the things that I've seen coming out that he's talking about, I'm not really a fan of. Bending the Constitution, a third term, all this stuff. Not a fan. Not a fan at all. What else do we have on tap here today? Ooh, World War III. China's launching military drills around Taiwan and calls its president a parasite. China staged military drills off Taiwan's north, south, and east coasts on Tuesday in a stern warning against separatism and called the Taiwanese president a parasite as Taiwan sends warships to respond to China's navy approaching its shores. The exercise, in which China has not formally named, unlike war games last year, are happening after a rise in Chinese rhetoric against lie, and the following on the heels of U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's Asia visit, during which he repeatedly criticized Beijing. Yeah, it certainly is the pot calling the kettle black, Yankee watchdog. Livingston Man says, it's just a stunt for sure, but to stand for 16 hours and speak takes a little effort. For sure, bro, for sure. That's marathon stuff. I'm lucky I can get through an hour here by myself. I'm cutting it down to a half an hour. Yep. So, Chinese military deployed ships, aircraft, and artillery to practice blockading the island. Strikes on the ground and maritime targets, and air interceptions to test forces. Coordination in combat, Beijing's Eastern Theater Command said in a statement. They're gearing up, man. They are totally gearing up. This article right here is from MSN.com, and this is going in the comments section for all y'all, so you can click on it and read it for yourself. Cite your sources always. All right, next article we have up here is from Reuters.com, and I will copy and paste this bad mamma jamma right in the chat for y'all to read for yourselves. The Trump administration begins mass layoffs at health agencies, sources say. The summary of this article goes down as follows. Evolving Media 202, good to see you. The FDA tobacco chief is fired, and the new drug regulator quits. U.S. Health Secretary says cuts needed to streamline a bloated bureaucracy. Notices went out early Tuesday. Some employees turned away at the door, sources say. CDC cuts include at least one employee working on measles, the source says. April 1st, the Trump administration has begun firing staff at major U.S. health agencies, including the CDC and FDA, as part of its plan to cut 10,000 government health jobs. Sources familiar with the situation and health officials said on Tuesday. They don't cite their sources, but I do. The cuts, which also affect the National Institutes of Health, are part of a broad plan by President Donald Trump and billionaire ally Elon Musk to shrink staffing levels in federal departments and agencies. Peter Stein, a director of the Office of New Drugs and the FDA Center for Drug Evaluation and Research Division, resigned on Tuesday when faced with being fired, according to one source familiar with the matter. Brian King, the head of the FDA Center for Tobacco Products Division, was fired, according to an email sent to King to FDA staff seen by Reuters. King and Stein exits add to the top leadership departures across the FDA divisions, including drugs, food, vaccines, medical devices, and tobacco products. Staff have also been leaving some employees reviewing products, saying they are struggling to meet their deadlines. An FDA employee said staff had to present their badges at building entrances, and those who had been fired were given a ticket and told to return home, according to one source. The ticket, seen by Reuters, listed phone numbers for 10 different departments for employees to call to retrieve their essential equipment. Other fired staff received emails Tuesday morning that said termination did not reflect on their service, performance, or conduct, according to an email seen by Reuters. A line of cars clogged the two main roads leading into the NIH's main campus in Maryland, where employees had been notified earlier this morning that they were laid off, according to a source. At the CDC, Staff who were fired worked from the National Center for Environmental Health, Substance Abuse, and Mental Health Services Administration and the National Center for Immunization and Respiratory Diseases. Cuts to the NCIRD included at least one person working the federal response to the measles outbreak, the source said. Health officials said employees who worked directly for HHS were also fired. Officials at the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services were not immediately available for comment. Interesting. Devil Dog Prepper. Good to see you, brother. Doing some woodworking. Work safely, my friend. Work safely. And again, in the comment section is the article from Reuters. Let's see. Weather today, it was breezy, a little chilly. North wind be blowing. It's about 46 degrees here at the homestead. 46 in Poughkeepsie, New York, and sunshine. That's the good news. We got some sunshine. The puppy dog is a snoring. There she goes, cutting that wood. And we will drop the weather forecast for you in there as well. Make sure you prep for the weather. Let's see. And I think that's it, man. I think that's it. I think we covered everything. How's everybody doing? CUCV Farmer says 37 in the People's Republic of Michigan. Stay warm, my friend. Stay warm. 53 in Maryland. So you guys aren't too awful much warmer. Evolving Media. Rum Runner, yeah. Security system off. Yeah, when you can hear her cutting wood, it's rough. The breeze is brutal. I wanted to go fishing this morning so bad, but I had to go do an estimate on a tile job, man. Super stoked. Super stoked. Yeah, I'm excited to take my fate, my livelihood, and my future into my own hands and not try and put that in a company's hands or anything like that. I think it's important to me to have the freedom to be able to still do this with you guys. And I got a lot more I want to do as far as YouTube is concerned, honestly. I want to get back to making the super high quality, awesome edited videos that the Livingston Man and myself are known for. These live streams are, they're cool, but man, I love making cool videos. And I got some series that I need to finish. Patty S., yes, I am starting my own business. As of today, Hudson Valley Tile is open for business. If you need a shower, a floor, an entryway, a dog shower, whatever it is you need for tile, if you're in the Hudson Valley, holler at your boy. I'll come do it. I'd be happy to give you a free estimate. CUCV Farmer, you were in the dark for 28 hours, bro. I'm so sorry. You need to get the Livingston Man on in the morning. Rum Runner, I tell you what, when I get half the subscribers that NY Prepper has, we can get the Livingston Man on in the morning. Dan H., 48 degrees with 20-mile-an-hour winds. South Florida Doug, what's up? Yardbirds, that's a good one. Only those who are willing to risk going too far will find out how far they can go. That's right, Virginia Bushcrafter. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. You know, it's the same thing I was doing before, just doing it for somebody else. Now I'll just do it for me. CUCV Farmer, absolutely, man. Solar systems are fantastic. Yardbirds, me too. 87 there. Good lordy. Guardian Prepping, good to see you. Eric, you be safe, brother. We should have an evening edition of Too Soon to Tell Tuesday here as well. Oops, there's a new AR in the house. Congratulations. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Camo Carl, only if you layer them right. Only if you layer them right. Tiles, not so much, but the level 4 ceramics, that's where it's at. They've done some incredible things with polymer, too. Can't have those here in the People's Republic of New Yorkistan, though. Those are illegal. That's right. They outlawed body armor and bulletproof vests and all that stuff. Rum Runner, no Four Horsemen tonight. Vision Preparedness is dealing with some tornado damage at his family's, so nobody's injured, everybody's safe, everybody's well. He just has to go clean up some storm damage over there and make sure the property is accessible for everybody that needs to get around. Canadian, that's hilarious, brother. CUCV Farmer, yeah, you got to have them angled just right to get as much as you can, or just add more panels, man. Add more panels. Those things are fantastic. Yeah, sending hugs and love to Vision. Hope the cleanup is easy and done quickly, right? Same here, Rum Runner. I'm glad everybody's safe. That's the biggest concern. CUCV Farmer, thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Dan H says, none whatsoever. Was it grandfathered in by a certain date? What are we referring to, Dan H? None whatsoever. No grandfather, no nothing. They just said if you have them, you have to get rid of them or turn them in. That was it. Yep. Bulletproof vests, body vests, plate carriers, anything of that sort is illegal for civilian ownership here in the People's Republic of New Yorkistan. Judith, good to see you. Winning Streak says it's good to get out the equipment and tetanus shots. For sure. Air frying lunch, that's the way to do it, Canadian. That's the way to do it. Judith, good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Good golly, this dog be cutting some wood. Well, we will see how the rest of the day progresses here. And yeah, we're going to keep you safe by taking away your safety devices. Absolutely, JT. That's how they work around here. That's how they work. Dan H says, maybe time to start HVPS security services. Well, if you want to have something like that, you need a badge to go with it, that's for sure. And recently, there was a shitload of corrections officers who got screwed out of their badges and had to turn all of that stuff in or become felons overnight, right? James Carroll, good to see you, brother. Hope all is well with you and your family. Mossy Horn Hunter in the house. Hope you're enjoying your lunch hour or half hour or 15 minutes or slamming that sandwich, whatever it is you get, right? To each their own. Camo Carl says, trust nothing and no one today like any other day. Amen to that. It is the 1st of April, 2025, and indeed, it is April Fool's Day. And I want to thank you for hanging out with this fool today. Really appreciate you being here. Thank you for all your love, your support, your positivity, man. It really means the world to me and my snoring little Labrador. Wow. Crazy. Crazy. Thank you for joining me, guys. Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival, and we will catch you on the next video. I think I actually have a little something here for you on the way out. We might as well do an outro instead of an intro, right? Cut the snoring Labrador. Stay safe, folks. Let's get this showboat on the road, shall we? Yeah, boy. We did it. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That hill you see over in the distance there, you can just barely make out the fire tower on the top of that sucker. Stik Mountain, there's some rain coming down through the valleys. Fulfilling promises. One subscriber at a time. That's Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. Howdy, folks. Welcome back to Hudson Valley Prepping